Hello and welcome back to another Space Engineers Showcase video. In today's video, I'm once again taking a look at one of your designs that you have linked me in the comment section of one of my videos. And if we should see something of yours shown on this channel, just leave me the name of the Steam Workshop item and not the link, because YouTube will most likely delete the link before I can see it. But for today we are looking at another large ship, and this one is very impressive and extremely unique with its design. This is the Leviathan, which is this lovely thing right here. So this is a gigantic ship that features custom dumbfire missiles that we can weld up out the two side wings and fire towards our target. But anyway, pressing F10 and finding the Leviathan in the spawn menu, there it is. This thing is 8,259 large blocks using none of the DLC packs, no mods and no scripts. We can also see a nice bit of information on the Steam Workshop page where it says it's been made out of some light armor, but it has been reinforced with heavy armor around the bridge, which is very nice stuff. So we'll give this thing a thumbs up. We'll move all the way around to the very front. We'll have a quick look around the outside. We'll have a quick tour of the interior, which is quite small. Then we'll play around with the missiles, because I did see some pirates nearby, and they have a rather convenient space station that we can test the missiles against. So all the way over to here, if you can consider this the very front, this is what we get. So we can see ourselves a camera to aim this thing straight forwards, so we can see when we're flying this around. Because in the bridge itself, we've got ourselves some hangar bay doors that can close up the windows in front of us, so we would be heavily reliant on the cameras to fly around, otherwise you're going to be flying blind. But all of that has been surrounded by some lovely grey blocks and have been put to very good use in a very decorative way all the way around this ship. So we've got some lovely spikes at the front there, some spikes along the side, some light grey blocks for some additional decoration. And as we were to move around the main body, we'll start to see a couple of orange and a couple of yellow blocks. So that's what we get all the way over to here. We can see some landing gears at the bottom, some Gatling turrets on the top there. And as we continue along to here, we'll start to come under one of our wings, and we'll see the start of many hydrogen thrusters. Hydrogen thrusters are the only form of thrust that appear on this ship, so are good for both space and planets. Yes, up there we can see some large hydrogen thrusters, a couple more small ones along the side there, a nice little area right here which I'm not sure why I like. It's just like a little sneaky hidey hole where you can just fly over to here with your little gun and try to take some pot shots at anything you're passing by. Just pulling away from there and continue along the main body. There's the doorway to get in and out with one on the opposite side. And as we continue along towards the back there, even more hydrogen thrusters to help out on our left and right. Conveyors going across to our wings to make sure they can get some ammunition and of course some materials for the custom missiles. There's a large hydrogen thruster that's been very neatly covered up. If we were to pull away from here and start to come towards the very back of this thing, there's a rocket turret on the top and the bottom. We can see some support struts coming from the bottom to the top of the back of the ship, some red lights along the side there, some Gatling turrets towards the back, and at the very back, this is what we get. So we've got ourselves two large hydrogen thrusters to push us around on the main body, and as you can see on the wings, we've got even more thrusters to help get some great speed out of this. Yes, that's what we get on the main body, and if we were to come across onto one of our wings, that comes across onto this section right here, all the way up and above over to this section. These are the thrusters that will help push us around. So here's all the small ones, here's the large one, and once again, the large one has been neatly covered up to make sure it minimizes the damage it takes while in combat. If you were to move around the side on our little thruster pod, and of course our custom missile pod, even more thrusters to help out on our left and right, another Gatling turret to help defend the ship. And over to this section, which is the same on the opposite side, as you might be able to see the blinking light in the distance, this is our custom torpedo launcher. We've got some lovely blue lights that are blinking towards the front, some blast or edge blocks for some additional protection in case something goes horribly wrong. And all the way over to here, this is what we get. So in the middle here, you can see the projector block, which is our custom torpedo that will be fired out once we click the right button. And of course a camera here to make sure we're actually going to hit the target we're aiming for. Moving the camera all the way inside, we see some lovely blast or edge blocks to defend the outside of this thing. Once I poke my face all the way through, we can see the merge block, we can see the projector, and we should have a welder somewhere inside here to weld it up. Yes, there it is right there. But it's a very simplistic design. It's ion thrusters that come across onto some artificial mass at the very front here. If we come all the way across, and those artificial mass will have a sensor in the middle with a battery to make sure this is nice and powered, and it should deal a nice lot of damage. That's what that does, and we will test it out later on. As for the rest of this, it just simply comes all the way across to the front, and there we go. If we return back to the main body of the ship, we'll just come over the top and look down. There we go, like so. We see a bunch of interior walls. We can see some nice use of the catwalks, even more orange and dark grey blocks. And that just moves all the way along towards the back of the ship. We've got a couple more turrets, some more use of our blaster edge blocks for some decorative pieces. And if we were to come all the way across over to this section, this is our bridge where I'm standing right above there. And you can see a small gap between the windows and the flight seat, because a hangar bay door will close up in front of you to make sure you're nice and protected while in combat. And that's what I mentioned about the camera at the very front. As returning down to the top-down view, we can see some more hydrogen thrusters towards there to help us stop. And over at the very back there, some antennas to make sure you can always find this thing. At the very top there, some more nice detail out of the light grey blocks. There's our rocket turrets, even more hydrogen thrusters, some yellow blocks. And there we go at the back. If we were to come all the way across over to our thruster pod and missile pod on the side there, you can see how the conveyors have come across from the main body all the way up in a little zigzag-like pattern to the thruster pod on the side. There's some more thrusters, some more great use of our steel blocks for some decorative touches. And towards the front, we can't really see too much apart from the faint glow of our blue lights in the middle. Then if we were to come all the way down and underneath this thing, back to the main body for the final time, all the way under here, we're not going to be able to see too much. There's the bottom detail at the front. There's our landing gear where we can see some batteries hidden away inside there. We can see some catwalks along the main body, as well as some more steel blocks acting as decorative pieces. There's our hydrogen thrusters, some more turrets, some more support strut-like structures. And as we were to come across to the very back of the ship, even more landing gear, a connector to dock this thing up and load it up with hydrogen and ammunition. And we see the bottoms of how our conveyors are going across to the sides. And that's the very back like so. Coming across over to the side, it's basically going to be the same as the top. There's our hydrogen thrusters, and not too much apart from the faint blue glow of in the middle. And that is a very brief look around the outside of the Leviathan, and it does look absolutely glorious with how it's all been set up. Considering it's not using any DLC pack items and no mods, the creator has done an absolute fantastic job at setting this thing up. So what we can do now is grab hold of my character, and we can come across to one of the doors on the side there, and we can go inside. Just walking all the way across to here. Oh god, I fell through. There was a little gap there. Yes, here's the door right here, and here's the sneaky area I was talking about. So we could come across over to this section, have your little gun out, and try and take some pot shots at any pirates nearby. That's only if you're feeling brave. Anyway, over to here and opening up the doorway, we've got ourselves a double door for an airlock, and turning off my light. There we go. We don't have any kind of scripts on here, so there's no auto-door or airlock script, but there's plenty of room on this ship for you to customize it, and perhaps add a programmable block here and there, as you please. But this is what we get on the inside, and we're instantly greeted by an interior turret staring directly at my head. So there we go with that. And just behind there, we've got some cryopods to store some prisoners in, or even have a quick recharge. There's a medical bay block to heal yourself up or change your outfit, and there's a doorway to the opposite side. Turning around towards the front, there's a gravity generator so we can jump around in here without floating off. And here are some stairs to walk up. So coming all the way around to here, we've got a bunch of stairs to move up and up and up in this ship. And then we come to this room right here. So this is our air vent room, which is going to pump the entire ship full of oxygen, because the double doors we came through are the only doors on this ship. So we've got 3 air vents, and all the way up to here, we then got a large cargo container to drag and drop stuff in, which is very nice. Very quick access to the cargo containers to quickly load and unload stuff. Turning all the way around, we've got another set of stairs to come all the way up, but this time we've got a doorway at the back here. Opening up this doorway, we're going to come to another air vent where we've got ourselves some hydrogen engines on the left and right hand side. And as I said about customizing this area, you can always remove that light right there, and of course put some programmable blocks in if you wanted to. That's entirely up to you. If you were to come all the way out of this and continue moving all the way up, then come over to another cargo container which is very well hidden. It took me a while to recognize what this block actually was. Yes, this is simply our large cargo container to access it if we need to. Then just walking up these steps, these are much longer than the ones we've came up before, are some interior wall blocks, some more air vents along the side there, and we can see some glass windows right here where all our conveyors are linking stuff together. As well as we can see our hangar bays right there, or even hangar doors, whatever the hell those blocks are called these days. Yes, those are the ones which will close up above us. Turning around and coming up these steps, We're almost at the very top here. This is the final set of stairs all the way up, and this is our bridge. So this is all we get. We got some flight seats on the left and right hand side, which are set up to do nothing. But if you wanted them to do something, say control the turrets around the ship, you'd always do that yourself. Of course, turning around there, not too much else to talk about. Walking towards the front, this is our main seat to control everything. And looking down there's our hangar doors that will close up in front of us to make sure we are nice and protected from any kind of oncoming fire. So getting into the seat, bring up the HUD, this is what we get. So number 1 and number 2 is going to be to view the left and right hand side to help aim our custom missiles. Number 5, 4 and 3 is going to be how we're going to weld up the missiles and fire them. So we'll come out of there and bring the free camera all the way across onto one of these sides. I'll then put my light on and we're going to press number 5. This is going to weld up our custom missile. There we go. So now it's all ready to go, and as soon as we unlock our merge box, it'll be fired off into the distance. So here we go, go and fire them off. We'll just aim it. I don't know, let's just go and shoot them at the sun. Oh god, I accidentally fired one. That could have gone wrong. But yes, we're now going to shoot the sun with one of our custom missiles. I believe I just fired the one that I wanted to look at. So we're just going to rebuild a brand new one and fire them once again. So off they go. They simply just fire off into the distance and will hit anything that they collide with. They don't have any kind of explosives on them, so they will just deal raw impact damage. Yeah, so just fly off into the distance until they eventually collide with the sun, if the sun actually exists, which it doesn't. Anyway, all the way over to there, and there's another sun in the distance, but just ignore that one for the moment. We'll just weld up them for the moment. There we go. Number 6 is for our camera in the middle there, which is on the direct front, which is how we're going to fly this thing around when we press number 8, which will be to close up the hangar bay doors in front of us. So here they go, they're now going to start closing up. They'll take a little bit of time to get all the way up and above there, but now we'll stop being blinded by the sunlight, and we will have to rely on our 3 cameras to get around. So there we go with that. Number 7 is simply a manual toggle for our turrets all the way around the ship to turn them on and off. Number 9 being our reactors on and off. Coming over to tab number 2, number 1 is for our landing gear to lock and unlock it, number 2 for our O2H2 generator, number 3 is for our hydrogen thrusters all the way around the ship, 4 is for our batteries so auto or recharge, number 5 is for our gyroscopes on and off, number 6 is to stockpile our hydrogen tanks on and off, 7, 8 and 9 is then for our jump drives, where we can jump at a maximum 1,959.71 kilometers, which is very respectable for this size of ship. And on tab number 3, 4 and 5 we've got nothing else. So what we can do now is a very quick thruster test, then we'll go and see those pirates are still around and we'll test out the missiles. So moving forwards, what we get is roughly 13 seconds to reach maximum speed, which is quite nice for a large ship. Coming to a stop and reversing to 100 meters per second, it's going to take roughly 22 seconds, and unfortunately we don't really have the gyroscope controls to do a 180 and stop in time, so you will have to ride this out. Moving left and right is going to take roughly 31 seconds. Moving up, being the fastest thing on the ship as per usual, is going to take roughly 8 seconds to reach maximum speed, which is very normal because you will have more thrusters underneath the ship if it's made to go on the planet. And then finally, moving down is going to take roughly 18 seconds. So overall, this ship has quite a nice distribution around it. And of course, wiggling my mouse around, this is what we get. As you'd expect from a large, heavy ship, it's quite slow on the turning, but still has a respectable amount of control for the size of ship. So now what we can do is go over and find, oh, there it is, the salvage station in the distance right there, and we'll go and play with them. Oh, and it looks like there was a ship up there. I can't quite make it out. We might need to come all the way over to here and actually use the camera to shoot all the way forwards. But that looks like a wreckage, and we could even try to shoot it from here. So we're just going to aim this all the way up like so. That should be generally okay. Then we're going to follow it along with the free camera. And then finding the free camera to make sure we are in line to where is the ship gone, as all the way over to here. We're going to try and follow the missile as we fire it, and we'll see how much damage this thing can do. And we are quite a long way away, and I saw even more pirates over there. I don't know why they're so hostile today. But we're just going to hide all of that. We're now going to launch away our missiles. Here they go. And now we're going to follow it along. We're going to try and match the speed of this. We're going to hide the HUD up. And here we go. That should be pretty good speed. And we're going to take our time, fly all the way into the distance, and hopefully I'll get there before I run out of hard drive space. And here we go, we're now approaching it, they're starting to shoot it, it's going to be very close, don't go underneath it, and it hit! There we go, that was quite some distance that missile travelled. And we dealt a lot of damage, although this ship was damaged beforehand. Look at how much we did over here, just a simple non-explosive block, just tearing straight through it. And they have a timer block on here. Why would pirates have a timer block? Anyway, if I was to put up the HUD, we'll then see how far away we are. We are 6.29 kilometers away, that's quite impressive. And it didn't get blown up when it started to get shot at. So what we can do now, of course, to finish off these evil pirates, is of course slam the ship straight into them, because they, for some odd reason, deserve it. So we're now going to aim ourselves straight forwards like so, aim all the way around, and we'll just charge straight towards them, and that'll be the end of the Leviathan. And you know what, beans were flying all the way over there, we might as well just keep on welding up our torpedoes. We can fire them out, although I don't think that's going to be a very good... I think I might have just screwed myself right there, because we're running at the maximum speed, so those torpedoes are also running at maximum speed. Look, they are charging forwards. They've got some spirit with them, look at them go. They're just charging away. How are they actually moving faster than me? I'm pretty sure I'm running at the maximum speed, but they are trying to escape away from me and get to their target. I'm gonna launch some more around here. Here they go. Here comes the other one. Wow, it's just slow motion missiles as we cruise along towards the enemies there. Can we get another set? There goes all of our turrets. There goes all of our rocket launchers. We're now engaging with the enemy. And here we go. One final crash straight into them. And there we go. Our missiles are now going to fly away into the distance. And our turrets will simply keep pummeling away at these pirates right here. But if I was to reverse all the way up, we can see the damage we dealt. It looks like we took quite some significant damage at the front there. If I bring the sunlight all the way around, there we go. It looks like we just lost the very front. But we can still fly this thing around. We still got full functionality. And of course, we still got our missiles that we weld up and then fire off into the distance. But that is basically it for what the Leviathan has to offer. It's a fantastic looking ship with some great functionality to it. And there's plenty of room to customize it if you want to. So there'll be a link to it in the description below if you do wish to download and play around with it yourself. I highly recommend you do, as well as a link to the Skybox I'm currently using, and I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.